As a result of the denial of war funds, Kaiser Wilhelm I appointed Otto von Bismarck as Minister-President and Foreign Minister of Prussia. With the new appointment, Bismarck gained unchecked power in all foreign matters. A staunch conservative, Bismarck attempted to grow Kaiser Wilhelm's power while dismantling liberal ideas. Bismarck's goal was to create a stronger Prussia throughout the unification of Germany.
The Blood and Iron speech was delivered by Otto von Bismarck at the meeting of the Budget Commission of the Prussian Parliament. The speech was delivered on September 30th, 1862. This speech essentially rejected all, if not most, decisions made by the Liberal Party. In September 1862, the Prussian Parliament denied the request of King William I to increase military funds. Due to the denial from the Liberal Party, Wilhelm then sent Bismarck as a representative to try and obtain the funding. Bismarck, regardless of Liberals say, planned on military reform. This was going to be implemented by the establishment of a ministry. The Blood Iron speech had a few key points. It stressed the need to further military advancement and rejected and sort of kicked liberals out of power. Looking at two parts of the speech, and I quote, "The position of Prussia and Germany will not be determined by its liberalism, but by its power." So this indicates the removal of liberalism from the government. Another part of the speech that we can look at is when Bismarck says, "It's not by speeches and majority resolutions that the great questions of the time are decided." That was the big mistake of 1848 and 1849, but by iron and blood. So, looking at these two parts, we can see that military forces is needed for success. When he mentions blood and iron, the blood refers to the people and the iron refers to technology. This phrase really set the stage for Bismarck's enthusiasm for a stronger and more active military. From this speech, we can already see Bismarck's desire to unite Germany through the use of force. One can say that Bismarck was determined to have his way, and as common interests line up with other nationalists, the pressure to abide by Bismarck's demand was also very great. Ultimately, Bismarck's appeal to the Prussian Parliament through the Blood and Iron speech became successful, as the powerful message and idea of wars determining major events or changes to history grew in popularity. Now that Bismarck's army gained appropriate funding, Bismarck can now embark on his mission to unite the German lands.
Bismarck's ultimate goal was to unite the German states into a strong German empire. On September 30th of 1862, Bismarck made his famous Blood and Iron speech, which implied that if Germany was to unify, it would be with the use of military force. Following his speech, he dismissed the budget proposal and ordered the bureaucracy to collect taxes. This money would go to the military use, and Bismarck would expand and strengthen the Prussian armies. These armies would then be used in 3 wars, which Bismarck devised to unify the country. Bismarck wanted to annex both duchies. To do this meant war with Denmark. He set about ensuring that no one could help Denmark. Britain stood firmly behind Denmark, and Palmerston stated, if Denmark had to fight, she would not fight alone. Bismarck demanded Denmark submit the matter to a European Congress. Denmark, encouraged by Britain, refused. Bismarck correctly called Palmerston's bluff, and together with Austria invaded Denmark in February of 1864. Isolated, the Danes had no chance and were soundly beaten. Bismarck's secondary reason for attacking Denmark was to gain support from nationalists and liberals at home. This he achieved, and his heavy-handedness over the army reforms was forgiven and forgotten.
In the eyes of Bismarck, Austria had always posed as an obstacle towards his plan for unification. His belief in unifying all German states through war led to him wanting to build up the Prussian army. Never knowing when he would have to go to battle, he saw raising money for the cause as a priority. Although the Parliament did not share his ideals, he went out of his way to personally raise the money for the army through general taxation. Bismarck saw the opportunity to go to war with Austria during the territorial dispute over Schleswig-Holstein, which were territories claimed by the two countries when they went to war with Denmark. To prepare for battle, Bismarck took many steps to guarantee the success of Prussia. These steps primarily involved in being allied with neighboring countries. He was able to gain Russia's allegiance by not supporting the Polish rebellion and was able to ally with France by promising them support during their invasion of Belgium. All that was left was gaining support of Italy. By promising them Venice, both Prussia and Italy attacked Austria. quickly defeating them in what was known as the 7 Weeks' War. Bismarck's involvement with Austria resulted in the Treaty of Prague, which kept Austrians out of German affairs and established the North German Confederation.
Ever since the Treaty of Westphalia, Europe has been under considerable stress over how to equally balance power in the region. Bismarck was acutely aware of this and was thus able to capitalize on this vulnerability to help achieve this goal of a sovereign united German state. When the Kingdom of Spain sought a new monarch, Bismarck saw his opportunity. Through backing the bid for the throne of Prince Leopold of the Prussian Hohenzollern family, France felt threatened by the potential Spanish-Prussian alliance it would create. This move greatly escalated the pre-existing tensions between France and Prussia. In addition to the pre-existing treaties between Prussia and the southern German states, this move ensured that all the pieces were in place for Bismarck to execute the final part of his elaborate plan to create a united Germany. King Napoleon III of France was scared, and Bismarck, the great opportunist, was able to take advantage of this fear. Instead of prompting a Prussian declaration of war with France, a move that would only partially fulfill his goal, he was able to coax France into foolishly declaring war on Prussia. Bismarck was able to accomplish this through what is now known as the Ems Dispatch. This was a telegram that gave an account of the meeting between King Wilhelm and a French ambassador. The meeting itself was fairly benign. Bismarck was able to alter the transcript in a way that gave great offense to the French government. Upon receiving the telegram, King Napoleon III declared war on Prussia. In response, the states of southern Germany upheld their treaties with Prussia and immediately joined the Prussian war effort. This ensured the creation of a unified German state, and independence was declared a few months before the French defeat in the war.
Bismarck was able to increase the influence of Prussia through the unification of Germany. By capitalizing on the Schleswig-Holstein incident, the Austrian-Prussian War, and the Franco-Prussian War, Bismarck grew what was formerly Prussia to be a Central European power.